Hey everyone! Today I'll show you the mechanics for the Cogwork Dancers. For those of you that have seen the fight before, I know that their moves are telegraphed pretty explicitly, but I have some general tips and tricks that might help you avoid some damage, especially after they speed up. Let's start from the nearest bench. Technically, you should be able to skip the 3 mobs in this hallway if you have a running start, but in this recording, I decided to fight them instead. If you're going to do it that way, the key is to lure them out one at a time. They pursue you at different rates, so allow them to see you, then back up until the first one gets close enough. Then you just have to dodge and counter to bring it down and wait for the next one. Keep that going, and they'll all fall in time. Now I am going to skip the big guys in this hallway. They're easy to jump over before they start attacking, and fighting them will just make the run back to the boss even longer. This is literally the only thing the dancers do. You'll see the exact line they're planning to move in, and after a short delay, they'll execute it until they hit an obstacle. If they move from the ceiling to the floor, they'll also perform an attack on either side of the spot where they land. You can avoid this by either staying at a distance from the landing zone or by jumping over the attack. If they charge into each other, it will cause a circular AoE in the middle of the room, which is also telegraphed. Starting in Phase 2, they might also telegraph a series of lines. The key there is to find a spot near the apex of your jump that's clear of the attacks, then activate your float in that spot to avoid them. Now the first phase of the fight should be pretty easy. The delay between each attack is long enough that you can take your time moving in and out of range to hit them. Watch for diagonal charges in particular so you aren't taken off guard by landing attacks, but 9 times out of 10 you can avoid them by just jumping over their charges. When you get to the second phase, they get much faster. The biggest piece of advice I can give you is that you'll have a much easier time if you don't get too greedy. If one of the dancers is going to end their charge near you, just jump over the slashes if applicable, then hit them once and watch for the next telegraph. Only go for extra hits if you're confident they won't be moving into you, and if you really feel comfortable, go ahead and use a Silk skill to stack some extra damage. In the third phase, they'll move just as fast, but their attacks will be staggered instead of being simultaneous. The strategy remains the same though. Be patient, wait for openings, and eventually one of them will fall. The fourth phase is a formality. The poor guy will keep on dancing, but without his partner, the danger is mostly subsided. And that's it for the dancers. If you found this guide helpful, do me a favor and leave a like or comment before you go, and consider subscribing to see more content like this in the future. Thanks for watching, everyone, and I hope to see you in the next video.